Hello, hello. Okay, let's check it out. We are going to start something, a very important math concept called the order of operations, which is basically a version or another way of saying bed mass. Okay, and we're going to be referring to this quite a bit. So, bed mass, as we know, means that in any question you're going to start by looking at the brackets, then the exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. I'm going to put some little arrows underneath here. So we always go left to right for those guys and left to right with those guys as well. So we've got a question here with some integers. Negative 15 divided by negative 3 minus positive 4 times negative 2. So we've got three operations: division, subtraction, and multiplication. Now, which ones do we do first? So I'm going to tell you that 99% of the battle with these questions and doing them right is all about being organized. So what I want you to do is make sure that you're only ever solving, one thing at a time. Leave it where it was, bring everything else down, repeat. So what at the end of this, your question should kind of look like a funnel with it all going down to our final answer, whatever that may be, which is right there. So let me erase this stuff. Let's take a look here. So BEDMAS tells us we need to do brackets, exponents, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Now, these brackets are here just to separate the integers so that we're not confused, calling this multiplication and subtraction. So this is negative 2, so these brackets don't really apply here. So we're going to move past that. There are no exponents, but we do have some of these. So what you do is you always go left to right, division, multiplication. So if I start here, okay, I found a division. So I'm going to do that first because BEDMAS tells us to do these first and then adding and subtracting. So we're actually going to end up doing the division here. Then we're going to do this multiplication. And then our last step will be to do this subtraction. But anyways, we'll start over here. So what we do is we've got negative 15 divided by negative 3. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So this is positive 5. Now what you're going to do is you're going to write everything else exactly where it was. So this stuff came first. Afterwards, we've got these. So rewrite them right here. So we're going to have minus positive 4 times negative 2. All right. Next step. I have a subtraction and a multiplication. Well, BEDMAS tells us we got to do the multiplication before these two. So I'm going to deal with positive 4 times negative 2. Again, I'm just going to do two things at a time, or deal with two integers at a time. So I've got some integer rules here. We know that a positive times a negative is negative. So in this case, this will equal negative 8. I'm going to write everything exactly where it was. Notice this positive 5 minus came in front of this stuff. So you need to ensure that you put them here, not afterwards. They have to go in the same order. So this, I'm just going to move down to here and write it exactly as it was. So I've got positive 5 minus negative 8. And our last step here, we got rid of the division, we got rid of the multiplication, we're on to these ones, adding and subtracting. There is a subtraction, so we're just going to ask ourselves, using the temperature model that I like to do, if the temperature started at positive 5 and I took away 8 degrees of coldness, what would happen to the temperature? It started at 5 and I took away, subtract, coldness. Well, we know that it's going to get warmer. If you take away coldness, it's got to get warmer. So in fact, the answer here is positive 13 and we are done. So that's the first example. Okay, the next example we're going to do is -6 minus -9 plus -14 divided by +2. Okay, a big mess here. We've got subtraction, addition, and division. So BEDMAS tells us get the division and multiplication out of the way first. So I'm going to look at -14 divided by +2. That's a negative divided by a positive, which is a negative answer. And we'll find that that is -7. I'm then going to rewrite everything exactly where it was. So I'm going to put this stuff just down here in front of that. And that's the biggest mistake kids make, is they're not really sure where to put the stuff, and it messes things up for them. So I'm just going to put this back where it was, minus exactly like this. Okay, now all I have left is subtraction and addition. So I'm going to go left to right. So I'm going to deal with -6 minus -9. So if it's -6 degrees outside and we take away coldness again, that means it's going to get warmer 9 degrees. So if it gets warmer, okay, 9 degrees, it's going to go up past 0 and we'll get +3 here. I'm going to rewrite everything where it was. I've got plus -7 underneath. And my last thing to do is this last little integer calculation. If it was +3 and I added 7 degrees of coldness, it means the temperature is going to drop 7, okay, from +3, which means my answer will be -4. And that's the solution. Okay, the third one here, we've got -8 plus -2 times 4 plus -1. Now, in this whole chapter, they use the regular brackets to separate the integers so you don't get confused. When you see these square brackets, you're going to treat those as kind of like secondary brackets, meaning that they have to come first. So in BEDMAS, these square brackets are the ones we have to deal with first, because BEDMAS says deal with the brackets first. So in this expression here, I'm going to deal with this set here because they're in the brackets. So I'm going to go 4 plus -1, which is the same thing as +3. Rewrite everything where it was. Okay. And there we go. Now we got to look, what do I have left? I have addition and multiplication. BEDMAS tells us to do the multiplication before the addition, so I'm going to multiply -2 times +3. -2 times +3 is going to be a negative. It's going to be -6 because our signs are not the same. Rewrite everything where it was. -8 plus -6, and our answer is -14. And that's how you apply the order of operations to expressions that have a mixture of negatives, okay, different operations, brackets, and apply BEDMAS properly.